celebrities leaving Twitter abruptly. So we have Miley Cyrus, we have Lily Allen, we have Trent Reznor, who basically said, "Idiots rule, I'm out." Are they missing out? Are they losing? You know, there's this. We also talked about Perez, right? Like, he's been cited many times for being the reason why they leave Twitter, because there's just any update suddenly becomes open to press and interpretation or misinterpretation. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that, you know, your life is just so exposed in so many ways through these different forms of communication, and it's about, you know, I mean, you know, we put ourselves out there, but then it is about being able to take it, because, you know, there are, I mean, you know, I've experienced a lot of, you know, I mean, it's not hate mail, but it's definitely, you know, especially there's a lot of talk going on, like Pussycat Dolls are breaking up, and what are they doing? And then it's like, but then there's a lot of drama that goes along with it, like much more personal things, and maybe sometimes attacks that aren't true. And, you know, it's hard, because it's like, I'm such a sensitive person that, you know, I'll read everything, and it's like, you know, people say, you know, don't read so much about, don't read anything about yourself, you know, just ignore it and all that, but it is hard to ignore. And so I think that for people like Miley Cyrus and those people, you know, they probably just get to the point. I mean, I don't know, because I haven't experienced it on that level, and again, you know, it's been a positive experience for me, and I continue to be a part of this world, because I know there's always going to be that kind of thing out there, that people are, they're just, you know, they're emotional. Everyone's emotional. You know, everyone wants to say something because you know, because they care. But, you know, sometimes it does go too far. And so I think for people like Miley, you know, they've had enough, and they're just, you know, they figure, well, I don't have to put myself out there like this anymore. So, you know, F it, I'm just going to stop the whole thing. And I don't know if they're losing out. I mean, you know, does Miley need one more fan in the world? I don't really know, you know, or one more. But they're also, you know, possibly not using it in a way that we're here to talk about it, because it's not just about sitting and saying, you know, well, I'm just, you know, sitting watching TV today. You know, it is about using it in a lot of different ways, other than things like that. So that's.
JD? I want to speak on this. I think that people use these new media things or whatever as like toys, basically, right? I think Miley Cyrus probably was using it like it's a toy. And anybody else that's getting off this, they probably use it like it's a toy. So yes, they're totally losing out. What they gotta do is learn to take control of their own lives, basically. I'm sure everybody in here knows about my life, and y'all know this side of my life and this side of my life. But if you send me a message and you ask a question about Janet Jackson, I'm gonna delete you, or I'm not even gonna find you. You will not be on my page asking me questions that I don't want to talk about. You can control this, and that's the thing that I like about it, is that, you know, even when I'm blogging on my blog, if you send me a stupid message, it don't post, because I'm the person that's posting. I'm doing this. I don't have nobody working for me doing this shit. I do this. So that's what celebrities have to do. They gotta take control of this. If you don't take control of it, it's gonna go wild, and it's gonna go like it's a toy. And of course, somebody's gonna take something that you say, and they're gonna say something to you, and you're gonna get mad on the Twitter and just rant, and it's gonna turn into CNN press. But if you take control of this, and you know, you control it to where you want it, and you give the people the information that you want them to have. Like right now, a lot of my fans that love Jermaine Dupri, they might not know nothing about Blog World, but my whole speech to them is that if you're following me and you're living a life, my life is not just about Lamborghinis and money and girls and all that. It's all of this is involved.
Unfollow.
all of this plays a part. So if you're gonna live the life and you're gonna log on and want to be on my Twitter page, you have to come to Blog World with me right now. And that's what it's about. If not, if you want to talk about something else, then go to somebody else's page. That's how I talk to the people directly and let them know what's up.
Matt, did you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with 90% of what you're saying, but I also think, you know, if you take something too seriously, I think, you know, like I have 3 companies, I have 2 bestsellers, I have a multiple media level life as well, and I think that that's not on Twitter. But I think there are a lot of kids that should treat Twitter like a toy. I think they should relax. There's plenty of time, trust me, I've been through so much in my life as well that sometimes it is a relief. I certainly need more than one hand in the bathroom, so I'm not going to be doing on Twitter for many reasons. But I think that I was here when I made records. I made records when vinyl was out, and when Napster came along, everybody this, that, and it was all this. I think if you take anything too seriously as well, I think you destroy it. I think kids, you know, Miley Cyrus, I don't know, but maybe there's some ego there. Like, do I have as many as Kim Kardashian? Kim Kardashian, incredible. You know, if you get wrapped up in the amount of followers you have, it's not the point of it. I think, you know, you do great business and you use it to find out. Like, we recently decided to decide what our next single was going to be on what single they liked. Doesn't that make sense? It's not changing the world, but for our world, it's a direct way of finding out what they want. And I think that it should be allowed to be a frivolous kind of, what are you doing right now? And it should be saving kids in Africa, like you said, clowns and, you know, high wire acts. I think there's enough room in this massive world to reach everybody, and I think it should be embraced on all levels, really.
Well said. All right, so on that subject, I've been working with a company called People Browser. We do a lot of sentiment analysis of conversations for other industries like airline, top brands, what have you. One of the reports we're going to release next week is sort of celebrity sentiment on Twitter. And it is the first time that we've seen numbers like this. It's the only industry that's like this, where we had to hand curate to make sure that we weren't missing something. That the sentiment around celebrity conversations, whether it's an at you or just around you, is in the 80 to 90% positive, right? Almost very little negative across the board. We did 65 different celebrities. My question is, and this is, I think, comes down to just the whole nature of social media, new media, and its true power in essence, is that there's a form of reciprocity that I think is expected, right? People don't necessarily want to be fans anymore. I think people they want to be connoisseurs, they also want to be artists, they want to appreciate you at a human level, at a peer level. If anything, what we're seeing is that any one of us is becoming important in our own right. And what I want to know is, how do you feel about sort of that expectation for reciprocity? I mean, if somebody's adding you in a public stream, are you kind of coming back just on a whim? I think because there's this expectation that people hope you might acknowledge them or recognize them. Right, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, when I get to Twitter, I usually direct mail people because, you know, I don't, you know, sometimes I'll retweet if there's something that inspires me, but I genuinely like asking questions and figuring out their climate of, you know, somebody would tweet me from Brazil, and I'm like, I want to know what's going on in regards to a certain issue there, and I'll direct message them back. And I think on that level, I think I'm becoming as curious about this anonymous person that I'm slowly getting to know. So I think that there is this world kind of we're all merging, and I think it's a good thing. You know, like, you know, people that didn't have a voice, or there's no way we would connect, whether we wanted to or not. This digital medium is just, I think, is a really incredible thing, and I think, you know, it should be enjoyed on multiple levels.